All right, let's dive in. If you're someone who lives and breathes Oracle CPQ Cloud, you know how powerful it is. But you also know the daily grind of all those repetitive, manual tasks. Well, today we're looking at a Chrome extension that's designed to completely change that.
I mean, does this question hit home? Are you burning through valuable time on tasks that you just know should be automated? Clicking through screen after screen, validating rules one by one, waiting for the system to catch up? Yeah, you're definitely not alone.
And that's really the heart of the problem, isn't it? It's not just that it's slow. It's that mind-numbing repetition that just kills your focus. And then there's the risk. A single tiny manual error can create this huge ripple effect. And that is a headache nobody needs, especially right before a big migration.
But what if you could get all that time back and seriously reduce that risk? Well, that's where this tool comes in. Let's talk about the solution we're looking at today. It's called the CPQ Productivity Tools extension for Chrome. So what is this thing exactly? Put simply, it's a super lightweight, totally secure add-on for your browser. Its one and only job is to streamline your workflow in Oracle CPQ. The goal is to help you work faster, and maybe more importantly, a whole lot smarter by taking care of some of the most common admin chores. So this extension really packs its punch into 4 main areas. You can think of it like a specialized toolkit, right? With different tools for different parts of your CPQ work. We're going to walk through each one: configuration, commerce, BML for all you developers, and of course, data tables.
Okay, let's kick things off with a big one for anyone who manages products and rules, the configuration tools. This is all about making sure your product setups are solid, without all the manual slogging.
And this just shows the difference so perfectly. So the old way, right? You make a change, then you have to painstakingly click through to validate every single BOM mapping rule. The new way? It's one click. One click to validate everything. I mean, just imagine turning a 30-minute, super error-prone process into like a 30-second confirmation. That is the kind of massive time saving we are talking about.
So the most crucial point here is that this lets you instantly run that bulk validation, which means you can catch invalid data before it becomes a migration nightmare. And what's really smart is how it does it. It generates the data it needs and then stores it locally for 30 days. This means it's not constantly hammering the server with API calls. It's just efficient.
Okay, let's move on to the second part of our toolkit. Let's see how this thing builds. We're talking about the commerce tools. This is for anyone who's working with quotes and transactions day in and day out. Come on, we've all been there. You have the quote number right in front of you, but you still have to navigate through the quote manager, maybe apply a filter or two just to open the darn thing. With this tool, you just pop in the quote number, and boom, it launches the transaction instantly. It's basically the end of menu diving. Each search might only save you a minute, but how many times do you do that in a day? It really adds up.
This feature is just a huge time saver. You can set your preferences once, your process variable names, your UI choice, and then you just go. This is especially awesome for developers and testers who are constantly having to switch between the classic Jet UI and the newer Redwood layout.
All right, for all the developers watching, listen up. This next one is specifically for you. The extension includes a whole set of BML tools that are designed to make coding and scripting way, way easier. Just look at this. What you're seeing is a complete, searchable catalog of every single BML function, all 191 of them. So instead of having Oracle's documentation open in another tab, you've got this offline wizard right there in your browser. You can filter by category, search for what you need, and copy the function with a click. The real key here is that it's always available, even if you lose your internet connection. You can pin the little pop-up so it stays open while you code, or you could even export the whole thing to a CSV if that's how you like to work. It's all about having the reference you need, exactly where you need it, when you need it. All right, let's round out our little tour with the fourth and final toolset. This one tackles a very specific and, let's be honest, often very frustrating system limitation, working with data tables. Now, what's so great about this slide is the problem it solves. You need to export data from a table, but whoops, a deployment is active, so the standard export feature is completely locked. It's a total roadblock. The new way, it's a one-click export that works anytime. Yes, even during a deployment. And you know what? It's smart about it too. It doesn't just export what you see on the screen. It actually generates 2 separate CSV files,
one with the user-visible data, and a second one that's a full backup with the table name and date for your records. It's an absolute lifesaver when you're in a pinch. Okay, so we've seen what it can do, which is pretty cool. But with any browser extension, especially when you're using in a corporate environment, there is a huge question we have to tackle head-on. Is it secure?
This quote right here gets straight to the heart of it. Nothing leaves your machine. The extension does all of its work entirely within your browser session. It's not sending your data or any data to some external server. It is all processed locally. And this commitment couldn't be clearer. There is no data collection, no analytics, no ads, no tracking, nothing. It only asks for the absolute minimum permissions it needs to function, and it fully complies with Chrome's very strict transparency policies. Your data remains your data. Period.
So after seeing all these features and, understanding its secure design, the final question really is, who is this for? Who's going to get the most value out of this toolkit? Well, the answer is pretty much anyone who works professionally with Oracle CPQ Cloud. It doesn't matter if you're an admin managing the day-to-day, an implementer building out new solutions, a developer writing BML, or even someone who's just learning the platform. These tools were designed to fix your specific pain points.
And really, that brings us to the final thought. This isn't just about a tool that has a bunch of features. It's about the time and the mental energy that you get back. It's about spending less of your day on tedious clicks and more of your day on high-value, strategic work. So the real question I want to leave you with is, what would you do with all those hours?